Okay, this is going to be a quick one. 2019 technology predictions. So from a New Zealand technology perspective, we're both leading the edge of the world in technology and chasing China and the United States. So understand that some of the mainstream enterprise adoption things that are happening in the United States and Europe and in China are only now coming to enterprise adoption within New Zealand. But at the same time, New Zealand startups are doing some really innovative things that are bleeding edge, leading edge parts of the world. So my predictions are going to kind of be a little bit of mix about what the rest of the world is doing and what in specific New Zealand's doing. This year we're going to see enterprise adoption of container services in New Zealand on hypercloud. So I know that's happening already in the United States, in Europe, and in China. What we're going to start seeing is more retail container services in those perspectives, in those jurisdictions or locations. And in New Zealand, we're going to start to see more enterprise adoption of container services. So 2019, we're going to see an increase in use in VR and AR at the business level for enterprise adoption. More products after CES this year. We saw companies bringing business-led innovation to this market, and we're going to see that adoption start to happen in the enterprise scope. AI. We're going to continue to see AI grow, particularly the deep learning portions of AI. The big thing that we're going to see this year is consumer adoption of AI. So right now, AI tends to be pilot programs or projects, and they tend to be done in kind of a piloting mode. What we're going to see is more organizations bringing as a service level AIs to the market, and that's going to mean consumer and enterprise adoption. I expect to see New Zealand leading a lot of that. There are several really large startups happening in New Zealand that are outward facing towards the rest of the world, and some of the neural net stuff that's being worked on by Soul Machines and some of the deep learning stuff that's being worked on by companies like Spacetime and Intella are doing some really leading edge, bleeding edge work in New Zealand, and I expect that to grow exponentially across both New Zealand and the rest of the world. Okay, so this year, the Internet of Things is going to continue to be big. Deployments of general use IoT are going to slowly start to bleed away as we see specific use case IoT move to the forefront. So computing out to the edge, but data analytics on those IoTs growing. 5G networks is going to drive that adoption over the next 3 to 5 years, more so in the United States and Europe, but New Zealand is working on spectrum assignments for 5G networks, and that is going to come. The last thing that we need that I want to predict is that blockchain is going to move a little bit. So up till now, although with some niche cases, blockchain has been used in some applications, I think we're going to start to see adoption of blockchain in identity use cases. So up till now, the big use case has been Bitcoin. I think that in the next year to 2 years, what we're going to see is that a blockchain ledger used as an identity mechanism for governments and for banks and other retail outlets is going to be the direction that blockchain goes, and that is probably going to be the killer application for blockchain. So that's my predictions for 2019 and going forward. Keep watching, keep listening. Thanks.